Hello my YouTube friends! Today I want to show you how to create this epic alert that signals new members on your channel for free. It's pretty easy, so you know what? Let's get to it! We're going to use one plugin and StreamerBot today to build this whole thing, and both are totally free. If you aren't familiar with StreamerBot, it's an awesome tool to add all kinds of alerts and audience interaction to your live stream. It's totally free as well, and there is a link in the description so you can download it and follow along. That is the best way to learn. So let's dive right in. First, let's talk about our new member alert here. So I have a nested scene set up. It's just nested scene, new member. And I have 3 text files in here. The first one just says new member. The second one says welcome. And the third one will be the member's name that we're going to set up. Now for these text files, they're really simple. We're going to use GDI text. So if you just click the plus and you go to GDI text and create your name, then it's going to come up into something that looks like this. I am using the font Quake 2. There's going to be a link in the description if you want to check out the font. Then the text is member name. Now this font looks much better when you use uppercase than if you use lowercase. So I have been setting up each one of these so that the text transform says uppercase. And the fonts are just going to be white, but you can make them obviously whatever you want your font to look like. And then I set the alignment to center and the vertical alignment to center as well. And then once we go out of here, what I do is right click on each of the text files and go to transform and edit transform. And then you want to make sure that your positional alignment is fixed to center. And then I get them about where I want them and I right click on them. And then I go to transform and center horizontally. So they're going to be centered horizontally. And that way, even with member name, which is going to change all the time, everything is related to the center. So it will grow from the center, not the left or anything like that. So it won't end up pushed off the screen over here. It will grow out from the center. Now you could get ones that are too long for here and they'll just end up with letters at the beginning and the end cut off. But there's not much you can do about that other than make your font smaller. So we've basically got 3 text files in here. It's really simple. So then when we go into our main scene, you can see that we have our new member, which will just come up. But that's pretty lame. Whoop-de-doo. Who wants to, you get to see your name on the screen. But we added a little more to this one as well. So if we right click on our video capture device and go into filters, you can see we've got 3 filters in here, and we used this user defined shader, and that is a plugin called Shader Filter. It's really simple to install. So here's the shader filter, and we would just go to our downloads right here. And as you can see, you've got your Mac and Ubuntu, Windows, and so you can pretty much put this on any platform. Now I did Windows, so I just downloaded the exe file, and then you have your executable in your downloads folder, and you just double click on that and you get an administrative prompt which you click yes to. Then you just click install. You go through the prompts, make sure you're going to the proper directory, and it will install your shader filter. You're going to want to exit out of OBS and come back in to make sure it's active. So once you get it installed, you just click the plus, you go to user defined shader, you put your name that you're going to use in here. In this case, I'm using Fire and Shake, which are user defined shaders. So you would put Fire in here. Once you do that, this is what you're going to get. You're going to want to check use effect file, and you're going to want to check load from text file. Then you just browse. It's going to automatically bring you in here, and you'll just go down to the Fire one, which is this one right here, and click open. And these are the settings that I'm using, and here's the effect that you get. So if you want to just pause it and copy out these filter settings, you're more than welcome to use the same ones that I use, or you can modify it up for however you want it. But that is the fire effect. Then the second one that we're using is color correction. So to get this one up, we're going to click the plus. We're going to go to color correction, and then it's going to ask you to name it if you want to. And these are the settings that I'm using for color correction. It's pretty simple. I just go down here, select color, and I select the red color. You could do green or purple or whatever you want. It's perfectly fine. And when you combine fire with the color, there you go. That's what you get. And the last one that I'm using is shake. Now this one is a little bit wonky. So what you're going to want to do is click the plus and go to user defined shader, call it shake, and then click OK. Then what you're going to want to do is click use effects file and load shader from text file. Then you click browse and you go and you select the shake effect in here, which is this one right here. You just select the shake effect, you click open, and then once you do that, you're going to want to close out of OBS. So you click close here, then you click exit OBS, then you bring it back up, and then you go ahead and right click and come back in here. The reason why is because for whatever reason the shake effect gives you problems if you don't close out of OBS and then reopen it before you start to configure it up. Once you do that, you're free to configure it up and it will work just fine. Here are the settings that I used. You can change them up to whatever settings you want. This is the effect that it gives you, and you can see it's just a little subtle shake. So if we add the fire and the color correction on there, that is the effect that we're going to get. And of course that would be with our new member thing, and there we go. So we've got new member, we've got welcome, and then we're going to have the member's name with this flaming stuff going on whenever we get a new member. Now that's pretty cool, and I would probably use this in conjunction with a face filter as well, and probably even a voice filter, which makes it even cooler. But we're going to stick to the basics here. I'm going to show you how to trigger the text along with the filters in StreamerBot so that you can activate this on your YouTube channel for your live stream. So let's go ahead and go back into filters, and we're just going to turn these three off. We're going to close that out, and I'm going to turn this one off as well, and we're going to go into StreamerBot. And the first thing we're going to do is go into actions, and I'm going to go ahead and right click here and add, and we're going to call this one new member, and we don't need to group it. Doesn't really matter. The queue is default for now, and we'll click OK. So now we have a new member action. Now for our action, what we want to do is turn all of those things on. So first we'll go into OBS, and we're going to go to sources, and we're going to go to set source visibility state. So we're working in our main scene at the moment, and our source visibility state is new member, and we want to make it visible. So there we go. So that will trigger to turn this visibility state on, and so now our text will be on, and we can test it. There we go. So our text is on now, and that is because we set our visibility state to on. We set it to hidden, it will hide it. So we're going to go ahead and set our visibility state to visible, and now we need to trigger our filters. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click, and we're going to go to OBS, and we're going to go to sources, and then we're going to go to set source filter state, and our scene is main, and our source is video capture device, and the first filter is fire, and we're going to make it visible and click OK. And we're going to do the same thing for our other two filters. So we're going to go to OBS, and we're going to go to sources, and we're going to go to source filter state, and we're going to drop this one down here, and we're going to select color correction. We're going to make that visible, and we can test that, of course. And then we have one more. We're going to right click. We're going to go to our filters in OBS, and this is a source, and we're going to go to filter state, and we're going to select the very last one here, which is the shake filter, and click OK. We can obviously test it, and we can see it shaking. So go ahead and make it hidden, and there we go. So we gotta fix that one here, visible. Okay, so now we've turned on our text, we've turned on our fire filter, our color correction filter, and our shake filter. Now what we need to do is go ahead and add a delay. So we're going to go to core and we're going to go to delay, and we're going to decide how long we want this to actually work. So let's say 5 seconds. So 5,000 milliseconds will do for us. So we've got 5,000 milliseconds, and then what we can do is basically just duplicate all of these. So we're going to duplicate this one, and what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to make this hidden, and we're going to duplicate this one, and we're going to make this hidden, and we'll duplicate this one, and we'll make this hidden, and the last one here we will duplicate this, make it hidden, and we're good. So now we've got all of our stuff goes on, and all of our stuff stays on for 5 milliseconds. And then all of our stuff goes off. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. We only have 3 over here. So a filter state for fire, color correction, and we need to duplicate the one for shake. So we'll duplicate that sub action and we'll make it hidden, and we need to make this one visible. There we go. So now we've got our 4 actions get visible. They're on for 5 seconds and then they get invisible. Now we do have one other thing that we have to fix. If we go in here, we want our member name to replace that text. So how do we do that? So up here we have the information on the actual stuff. So we've got the user's login name, the user that activated this event, their name is user, their ID, the user type, all that sort of stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're just going to take user, we're going to copy it out, and we're going to go over here, and what we're going to do is we're going to right click and we're going to go to OBS, and we're going to go to sources, and we're going to go to set GDI text. Now we're in the main, and we want to go down here and we want to select our source. So we actually have to go to our nested scene. In this case, it is the new member nested scene, and we know that our text we want to change is text 3. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a % in here, and we're going to put our variable in there, and we're going to put another %, and we're going to click OK. So now all we have to do is go ahead and move that up to the very top. So the first thing it's going to do is it's going to change our text. Then it's going to visibly make those things available. Then we're going to have a 5-second delay, and then it's going to turn them off. And so now our StreamerBot for our member alert is all set up and ready to go. Let's go ahead and test our StreamerBot alert. We're going to add a voice command in here, since obviously you have to be live in order to test this otherwise. And we'll just call this test, and our command will be alert. And that's really all we need to do. We want to make sure that our settings for this are set up. So we want to make sure we're using the right microphone, and it is listening, which it is. And then our commands, and what we have to do is we have to associate this with a specific alert. So we want this to trigger our new member alert. So we'll select it, alert. And there we go. And obviously it says user down there because right now there is no value in there for the user. When there is a value in there for the user that triggers that, then we're going to have the proper value. So all we need to do now is go ahead and set this up so it triggers when we actually get a new member. So what we're going to do is go to platforms, and we're going to go to YouTube and events, and we're going to go to sponsor event, and we're going to select a new member as the sponsor event. And now we are all set. So now anytime that we get a new sponsor event, it's going to trigger that alert. It's really that simple. So that right there is the new member event. And as you saw, when I click the question mark next to that, it does give us information on different variables that we can use. So if you wanted to put the level of membership they signed up for or something like that in the text, you could easily do that as well. Now, if you're just learning about StreamerBot and maybe this is the first time you've seen it, you want to learn more about how to set it up and all that stuff, you should check this video out. And if you're always looking for tools, tips, and tricks that can help make you a better live streamer or YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael Fire Jr. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.